school system. America's school system is trash. It's designed to make the next working class, and that's the route that you want to be going for the rest of your life. You're not setting yourself up for what you want to do with your life, but you're here. So your spirit just not happy. So you're depressed. I was depressed. I knew a whole bunch of people was depressed. I left college and my mental health shot up. They say I should do, but everything that you know the people on the top want us to do is only to work harder for them. None of it's to make you happy. So just yeah. Alright, welcome back to the 47 show. And in today's video, I'm be telling y'all why I dropped out of college with 1 year left. But first, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Let me get this Palo Santo. Y'all, we got Palo Santo today because my little torch done ran out of lighter fluid. But yeah, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. Comment on the video, like the video. I hope you get something. I hope you get something out of this video. If it's entertainment, if you get some type of knowledge, or you get some type of understanding, overstanding. I just want you to get something from this video. I feel like everybody have life experiences that we don't always say is important. But I feel like all life experiences should be shared, no matter who you are or how small you think it is, because somebody can learn from what you did. Like I observe other people to learn from their mistakes so that I don't have to walk down the same path that they did. And I'm not saying me dropping out of college is a mistake. I'm just saying for general purposes of just sharing experience, sharing life experiences. We all should share our life experience. But let's just get straight to the video because I want this to be as detailed as possible, but I don't want it to be extra long, like 40 minutes. Alright, so quick little background. Alright, so went to high school, graduated high school, and then after I graduated high school, I didn't go straight to college. I took a year off between high school and college. And then over that summer of that year off, I got a summer job. So yeah, I got a summer job right before college. I was working at this place called Husqvarna. Some of y'all probably know what I'm talking about. A lot of y'all probably don't. I was working at this place called Husqvarna, and like it was slavery basically. Like even the way it was set up was like rows and columns, like a cotton field. Y'all, it was basically just slavery. Like I say, the slavery that still exists now is mental slavery, but this was just paid slavery. Like, and it's barely paid because you're not really making a living. So I went from that, went straight out of that. I probably worked there from May of 2019 until probably July or August. No, July I think. And then when August hit, I went to college. So I went to college. I was a culinary student. I was a culinary major. And then y'all, I said I only had 1 year left, but I was in 2 years. I only had I was getting a 2-year degree, so I was 1 year in and had 1 year left. Just understand that. Well, yeah, so I went to college August 2019. Boom, I finished that whole year out, did my finals, everything. I passed. I had good grades. It was super easy. And but I started to notice little patterns from high school to going from the workforce to going to college, and it was all the same thing. It was all just, follow the rules, stay on this line that we paint for you, and just play this never-ending memory game with us. Like in high school, like you're not really learning nothing. In high school, you're not really ever learning nothing. You just memorizing everything. Like you memorize everything the teacher says. It's like a big memory game. Like, you flip the card over and then you flip it back over. Like they flip the card over, the teacher tell you what you need to know, and they flip it back over. And then a week later, you gotta find the card, flip it back over when it's time for that test, and put it back on the paper. Like there's nothing to it. I passed high school so easily. Like I barely tried, and I was like at least in the top 30 of my class for sure. GPA was high. Like, and this was me not trying. So high school was easy. Then I went to the job. Literally, I think after 2 days of working there, I had my whole job figured out. And it kind of just became a loop. Like I could sit in my thoughts all day long and still do my job with my hands, because that's how simple and basic it was. It was simpler and easier than high school was. So, and just follow their rules. Follow the rules. Go and break it this time. Be back from break it this time. If you're not, you get rolled up. Same thing like high school. You get recess, lunch, however you want to say it. And then I went to college. Same thing basically. You have a little more freedom, but I went kind of backwards, because college is meant to just set you up for the work field. But I went to the work field first and then went to college. So I got to college and it was super easy. Same thing basically as high school and the job, just stay in these quick little rules we got for you. You can miss this amount of days of class. You need to have this done by this time and memorize this information real quick, and we got you. You probably have to write a few more papers than high school, but that's something easy too. Is all of this stuff was easy. And I've never been to prison, but I'm pretty sure prison is the same way. You know, follow these rules, do what we say, and you good until it's your time to get out of here. Same thing. It's the same principle. Like America is really not designed to make critical thinkers. America is not designed to make the next philosophers, the next intellectual minds. You know what I'm saying? Like it's designed to make the next working class, just to increase the working class, the labor class, whatever you want to call them, the slaves of today, whatever. That's all we designed to. The whole school system that we so like to praise. America has the best school system. America's school system is trash. It's designed to make the next working class, and I started to realize this. So I'm realizing this, right. Fast forward a little bit. I'm in culinary school. I think January of 2020 or December of 2020, I started actually working as a chef. So now I'm a culinary student full time. I got a full schedule, and then I was working as a chef full time. I had literally no time on my hands. Like 7 days out of the week, I was in somebody's kitchen doing something with food. 7 days out of the week, no breaks, except for like when I go to sleep or whatever time I get in the morning. Like that was it. So I'm doing all of this, y'all. Working school, homework, and I just kind of got on a loop. And food was always my thing. Like I always wanted to be in food. Like food is art to me. Food is creation. Food is life. Food is everything. So food was always the thing for me. But food became like a job for me. So I started to see like college is only setting me up to put me back in. Like I went to college thinking like, okay, I won't ever have to work another job like Husqvarna. But college was literally setting me up to do the same thing. Like when I was in the workplace, I was meeting chefs who was like 30, 40, 50, having kids like my age, like they kids my age. They telling me like, my son, like you remind me of my son and all this stuff. And they still working the same job as me. Like they don't have their business. But I know by that time I already saying I want to have my own business. I want to be doing this and doing that. I want to be able to take trips and travel the world. And like they went basically somewhat of the same route as me, but they still here. So that was kind of blowing my mind. So working there, fast forward a little bit, COVID hit, the school shut down, and I was still in school, but we couldn't go to class. It was online school. But then, if you haven't watched my video on the police walked in on me making herbal tea, then go watch that. You would know what happened. But so anyway, basically I got sent home. Now I didn't really get sent home. I got kicked out of the apartments, but not out of the school. I was still in school, but I just couldn't stay in the apartments. So, cause our apartment complex and our school was like two separate entities. Like you paid the apartment, like you paid your lease and all that, and then you still had to pay your loans and whatever you gotta pay to the school. I don't know. But all of that was separate entities. So the apartments was like, okay, you can't stay here. So I was like, okay. But the school was like, you still in school. So I went home, I got another job. Another factory job. I hate factory jobs. I'll never do that again in my life. Another factory job where I was working from like 5 in the morning, to like 5 in the afternoon, or 6 in the afternoon to like 5 in the morning. I would get up in the morning. I got no kind of sunshine this whole time whatsoever. Like I would go to sleep, the sun be coming up when I'm going to sleep, and when I'm going into work, the sun going back down. That was terrible. Anyway, that's besides the point. So I got this job literally just so I can get an apartment back in where I was going to school. Like I was just gonna get money to get the apartment, and I was gonna take the rest of my student loans and put that into my apartment, and I was gonna be good. But after I got home, right, I started to, I don't know, I fell in love with the freedom that I was starting to have, and I was like, I started to put two and two together. I'm like, if I go back to college, I'm gonna get a degree, a piece of paper that's gonna tell me that I'm eligible to work for this person, and then I'm gonna work for them, and they gonna pay me just enough to pay my bills for my apartment, and you know, have a little bit of change on the end, and then I'm gonna have to go back to work. Like they never would pay you to where you don't have to work. They only gonna pay you enough to where you still gotta come back the next week. Makes sense? It makes sense. Clearly, everybody done work the job at some point or going to. So I start thinking. So I start making this money that I'm saving up. I'm like, I could do something else with this money. So I take the money, and at this point, I'm like, I don't really think I want to go back to college because I skipped a big part of this too. Another reason, I was in culinary school and I went vegan, y'all. In culinary school, all we cooked, I'm gonna put a video right here. All we cooked was meat, pork, chicken. They had a time we were supposed to make bull testicles, cow's tongue, all kind of nasty, just like flesh. And I went vegan. We made eggs, stuff with eggs and cheese and milk and cream was in every single dish. Even if it had no meat in it, it still had some type of dairy in it. So like I literally would have went to school, had nothing to eat. I would have been cooking stuff that I wouldn't ever serve to anybody because I feel like I'm destroying their body and I'm not for that. And I was already like in culinary school towards in culinary school I was already quitting pork, I was quitting beef, and like they would try to get me to taste it, so I would have to literally chew this stuff and then spit it into a trash can just for the purpose of saying I tasted it. So I'm like, if I become like after I became vegan, like food, I view food a whole lot differently after I'm switching to veganism, and I was like, there's no way I'm putting that stuff in my mouth just for the purpose of saying I tasted it. I don't care if you gotta fail me. Like I'm not tasting none of that, and it wasn't no vegan options on almost anything we made wasn't vegan unless it was like potatoes or something. And it probably had some type of cheese on it, so still not vegan. So that on top of just learning that school is not meant to create like school isn't there to make you special in your field. School is meant to just put you in the working class again, and you know just make you another laborer. So learning that, and then the whole vegan thing. What else was another reason school was kind of, oh, and depression. I should have said this too. If you're a college student and you watching this, tell me how many people around you depressed, or like how many college students you know that depressed, or how many of your roommates are depressed. You know, like college and depression kind of just go hand in hand. And I thought I was depressed, like I thought it was just me. But then everybody, most of the majority of the people in my school was depressed who I talked to, like when we was close enough to have this type of conversation, they was depressed. And then I talked to college students, like people who just went to college, and they was depressed. And so like I'm like, okay, so it's not just me. The common denominator between all of this, depression, is college. Like our spirits are trying to tell us this is not the route that you want to be going for the rest of your life. You're not setting yourself up for what you want to do with your life, but you're here. So your spirit just not happy. So you're depressed. I was depressed. I knew a whole bunch of people was depressed. I left college and my mental health shot up. I did not want to put myself back into a state of feeling depressed. So with those three things, college was kind of just like, no, no, and no. Only thing from college I would have got was the piece of paper, and I was already working in the culinary field. I was already getting real world experience that was making college feel like this is children's play. So all of this stuff, and then I start making this money at the little place, and I'm like, okay, I could take this money. I've always been good with money. I could take this money and flip it and do something and make something for myself. Like I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, so I started selling sea moss gel. If you ain't get no sea moss gel from me yet, go to my Instagram, the Self Healing Shop, or 47MG the Guru. Link gonna be in the description box, both of them. But get some sea moss gel from me. But started selling sea moss gel. over the summer last year, so probably like in August. And when I first started, I was probably selling like one or two people. Like, I know my cousin, she was getting some from me, like consistently. Like, if I knew I wasn't gonna get one sale, she was gonna come through for me. I was gonna like, yeah, she was just gonna come through for me. So yeah, so I started selling sea moss, and then I don't know, like when I started, I just started doing other stuff. Then I started YouTube. I started this YouTube channel around that same time, a little bit after I started CMOS. And then I started trading Forex. And now I'm in like cryptocurrencies and all this type of stuff. So I had a full-time job as what I wanted to do as a chef, what I said I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And I'm making more money now than I was then. And I'm way happier now than I was then. And all these things, and it's just kind of like, why do we need college? Like, college is just kind of like something they put in front of us to make us feel like it's the path. Like, and not just society, but our family and our friends and the people closest around you make you feel like you need to be in college. Like, even me, I still get it to this day. Like, I feel like it's a lot of people who probably didn't even know I dropped out of college. But even my mom still be saying little stuff like, I just want you probably should go back to college, or I still want you to get your degree, which I'm not gonna do. Well, I don't see how she hasn't realized that by now, but it's not my problem. But going to school takes courage, but dropping out of school takes even more courage. Yeah, I can attest to it. But I'm so like, happy with myself for making that decision and sticking with it and seeing where this journey takes me. But I mean, that's the big basis on why I dropped out of college. I just want to, college, like really consider why you're in college. Like, if you're doing it for the purpose of making yourself happy, or if you're doing it for the purpose of making somebody else happy. Because I feel like I was doing it to make somebody else happy, and because I thought it was gonna make me happy because I wasn't happy. But the only thing that could make me happy is me, and I didn't know that at the time. But that's all I got to say. And I'm not saying if you watch this video, just drop out of college today. We still need, like, in our community, we still need architectures. We still need okay, I won't say doctors so much, because it's other ways to heal your body than with medicine, clearly. Okay, but you get what I'm trying to say. We still need some of those. We need people in our community who still have those degrees. So I'm not saying everybody just, drop out of college, but we also don't need to find a way. Like, college is a way to feel like we fit in with the European society. Like, we accomplished something in the eyes of the European viewpoint. Like, you're not able to come to this party unless you got this degree. You're not able to fit in and feel like you accomplished something amongst the odds of the European peers unless you did this and you did that and you got this job and you got you a lawyer, and you got 3 kids and the golden retriever and the white picket fence and all of those things, and you live in this neighborhood, or all of your neighbors right beside each other. I mean, that's just not the life I'm looking for. But we be so easy to try to fit in with them and do the things that they say we should do. But everything that, the people on the top want us to do is only to work harder for them. None of it's to make you happy. So just take that into consideration after watching this video. If you made it to the end of this video, I love you. Hit the subscribe button for me. I just realized I did this whole video and I ain't have none of my jewelry on. That was totally off point. But yeah, I love you. Hit the subscribe button for me. Comment and like the video. And yeah, we out.